this on here. Okay, so we're gonna get right to it because we just wasted some time. I'm so freaking amped that you are on here. Anyone who knows me knows that this is really embarrassing to admit, but this is the first program I've ever actually completed from beginning to end at its entirety. I have always joked that I'm a squirrel, and this was literally, and I think that's why I'm so like in your face about like, no, you have to do this. Like, this is like a non-negotiable, because I'm so passionate behind the style, behind the principles, behind the belief, and behind everything that has to do with this program. So I'm going to like just pass it right over to you. And if you could just, give us the story behind LIIFT4, your vision for it, and, what you were looking to create, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, look, first of all, hi, everybody. Hi, Christina's team. And I think you said Barbie's team's on here too. So awesome. What's up, Kalev? And then I feel like, he's gone. For a second, I felt like Dr. No from James Bond because I had Kobe on my lap. So I felt I was just like, hello, everybody. Anyway, sorry. I also have squirrel moments, Christina, which you know by now. So let me turn my little light up because it's getting dark outside. Here we go. Ta-da! Hey, nice lighting. So look, here's the deal. Beachbody has a new program every 3 to 6 months. Cool. And then we have these conversations every 3 to 6 months. Cool. And why is this program so, why is this program the best things to slice bread? I don't know. I think it's because you can eat bread on the program. I think that's a big selling point right there, right? I mean, ta-da! You get to eat carbs. Yay. So here we go. For those of you who don't know me, did quarter force and did Les Mills pump, and that's the inundation into Beachbody. But so I've been in the health and fitness industry now for over 15 years, and have started at the front desk at a small gym in West Texas, and then just worked my way up and just have been in this industry ever since. And I love it because it's such a positive industry. And that's what I love. Like, everybody who starts working out, no one ever starts working out to get worse, so that brings a level of positivity that I like. And that's why I've always stuck with it. And I'm like, irk my wife sometimes. I'm always like the eternal optimist in everything. I always try to see the good in everything. So when it came time to start talking about a solo project and, okay, what would this look like? And Carl and I and everybody were talking about things about what would this look like? I was like, you know what? I think it's time to go back to basics. I think we need to. I think it was the perfect time for this because, look, let's think about this. We have, we've kind of swung one direction on a pendulum lately. I think in maybe the past 5 years of creating some amazing, every program we've ever created in Beachbody and things that are out there in terms of CrossFit and all this stuff. Like, yes, it all works, but why are we still having the same conversations about the fact that 80% of the population doesn't work out? And, we can't get people to commit to a program, or people are joining the gym. Like, why are we still having retention issues? And the attrition is just ridiculous. Like, why are we still in the same conversation? Clearly we're missing something, right? So I wanted to come at this a different way with LIIFT4 and go after it with that in mind. And I think it comes down to a couple things. And I think the biggest thing is flexibility. And you have to be able to look, our lives change on a daily basis. Things happen, right? We all wake up on a Monday with the best of intentions to work out, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And if you are doing something that if you don't have any flexibility, then all of a sudden you feel like you're behind and you feel like you have to catch up and all these things, then that starts just adding stress to your day, not de-stressing you. So with LIIFT4, it is honestly, I feel, the first program where you actually get to live your life and mold it around your life and how you need to, for when it comes to work and family and anything like that. But you still will get amazing results. The programming is solid, and we can talk more about that in a second, Christina. But it's there. It's solid. It works. And you guys, I am the first person to want to just get in and get this sucker done and go have a beer. Like, that is me when it comes to the realism behind fitness, because that's the whole point of this, you guys. Look, fitness and nutrition is supposed to enhance your life. Okay. It's not supposed to dictate it. It's not supposed to stress you out. Even if you work out 7 days a week for an hour every single day, that is still only 7 hours out of 168. Like, why are we so fixated on this? And why is it consuming us so much? And so I wanted to get away from this all or nothing mentality and just create something that was doable, realistic, sustainable, flexible, and still make you look good naked. That was the idea.
I love it. And that's why I hate to say the one thing. I mean, I love so much about this program, but that in the test group, you kept emphasizing like relax. That was like the key word, because we're all so used to like, like we're like, what can we do? What can we do? And oh my gosh, I was starving and I ate a beach bar and it was completely out of containers. And you're like, so? And it was like, okay, like we're okay. And so it changed. I think it was a mindset flip as much as it was the transformation in your body, is that mental shift I think a lot of us had.
Yeah, and look, you guys, yes, Christina, you're 100% right. This is a mental mind shift for coaches, okay? Not for the 80% of the population who are not working out. They're going to embrace this, you guys. Like, they're going to be like, oh, it's only 4 days? I can do 4 days. I get 3 rest days? Oh, I can do that. You guys are comparing it, like, that's why I keep saying relax. Like, coaches, y'all need to take a chill pill, man, because you're going to give yourself an ulcer over this stuff. Like, you're questioning, you have so many questions, but it's because you're basing it on something you've already done. This is not what it's about. It's about the people who are doing nothing. Like, they're the ones that we got to be thinking about, because like, so, and we always say, trust the process. Look, we have to say, trust the process, because that's pretty much for you, because you guys are like, but I went from working out 6 days a week to 4 days a week, so I'm going to lose all my results. Really? Like, seriously, you think that's going to happen? Come on, let's be realistic in this. So, yeah, y'all relax. It's going to be okay. I promise you it works. And it's seriously, it just, but you got to come down the standpoint. Like, you got to come down that path of like, who are we going after here? We're going after the people who, all those people who you've told about Beachbody and fitness program, and they're like, oh, I don't have time for that. I can't commit to that. That's who this is for.
Perfect. This is something that I've gotten a lot, and I think hearing it from you more so than anyone else, it would obviously add the legitimacy, is that coach mentality of like, but what do we do on the off days?
Yeah.
And so I want you to answer that, so it's like coming straight from the source.
Oh my God, I know the rest days are cracking me up on that one, because it's the same thing of like, oh my God, I'm going for 6 days to 4 days. Like, what do? I don't have anything. I don't know what to, like, it's like the whole thing of like from Talladega Nights. Like, Talladega Nights, he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Is that Talladega Nights? I think it's one of those movies. He's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. It does like this. He goes like this. You guys, the off days are for 2 reasons. One, let's give our bodies some recovery time for once, would you, please? Like, overtraining is getting out of control, because it goes back to that same thing of having flexibility, like where I see, if it's 6 days a week or 7 days a week, and look, we're not just talking about 80 days, okay? We're talking about every program. Like, Core to Force is part of this. It really is. Like, we designed a program in Core to Force that was 30 days, a 30-day shredding program where you were doing something every single day. And we would see all the time. I would see, and this, that was my first chance of an opportunity to really create a program with Beachbody. So I learned a lot from it, and I got so many posts of people saying, "Oh my God, I missed Monday. What do I do?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What do you do? You just do Monday on Tuesday?" And they're like, "But don't I have to do 2 workouts?" I'm like, "No, that sounds horrible. I don't want to do 2. Half the time, I don't want to do 1." So like, no, So that's where this came into it. But so there's no doubling. There's nothing on that one. That's where the flexibility comes into it. But that's what I'm seeing happen right now, is this overtraining aspect of it, where people are feeling they need to double up on workouts if they miss the day. With the recovery days, oh, that's a happy baby. With the recovery days, you guys, it is legit for 2 reasons. One, to actually give your body the time it needs to recover from the LIIFT4 training, hypertrophy training, the style of training and programming that I put together. 3 sets of 10 allows you to lift heavier than you've ever lifted before at a harder pace, at a faster pace than you probably ever lifted before. You're going to be sore. We're going to break your muscles down. That's the point. But then you got to give your body enough time to rest and recover, and let your muscles actually grow back and recover, because then they're going to come back stronger. That's science one. That's science. That's weightlifting 101. Okay. You have to do it. So that's this first part. And the second day is to get your life back. Okay. Get to do the things that you love to do. So many people love to run. I don't know why. But all these different things about, like, if you want to run your little heart out those 3 days. If you want to train for a marathon, this is actually perfect for that, because you can move the days around however you need to. Swim, bike, run. It's that simple. The only thing that I say on the rest days, just no weightlifting and no high intensity workouts. That's it. Okay. Just actually give your body the time it needs to recover. That's it. It's that simple.
I think for the coaching standpoint, because we've seen this, is I think we get so used to just lifting and lifting, but not lifting. And I've noticed even like with my background, hi cat, with my background, one of my coach's questions was, can I have his cat? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we all know the answer to that one, but maybe we'll make
No, he's mine. He's my baby.
maybe we'll make a debut.
Right.
But I didn't notice in some of my coaches like stories, I'll be like, you need to lift heavier, where they're just like flinging through the motion. So I've gotten a couple questions about, how we can help our customers and coaches learn, how much they should be lifting, how to pick out their weights, what size range of weights we should be looking at. I figured obviously come to you.
Yeah. So look, by the way, this is Kobe. He's the young one.
I was like, I wonder which one that one is.
And then he's very camera shy too. He hates the camera. So yeah, when it comes to weightlifting, you guys, I'm seeing a lot of people, in the B4, let's talk about the B4 workouts, for instance, like the B4 LIIFT4 workouts. People are doing it, and they're shorter workouts, only 20 minutes, but still very similar to the actual program in terms of give you an idea of pacing and structure, and still 3 sets of 10. I'm seeing a lot of people do it. I'm seeing a lot of, because they're tagging me, and that's what I love to see, but I'm seeing a lot of people do, like their heaviest weights are 10-pound dumbbells. You guys, the programming itself is, the way we're lifting is completely different than what you've done in the past in other programs. We're going on simple planes of movement. We went old school. I went back to old school because this is how I learned how to lift weights. All my mentors in the weightlifting world came from the days of Lou Ferrigno and Arnold and all those guys, and worked with them and trained them. And I love it. I think this is the most effective for the vast majority of the population because it's the way to build the best functional fitness foundation. Because what are we trying to do? You guys, unless you're trying to get up on a stage for a fitness competition, we just want to be stronger so we can pick up our kids and not hurt ourselves, or I can bend over and pick up the cat without throwing my back out, right? Like, it's functional fitness is what we're going for here. So when I see people lifting 10-pound dumbbells and yet your kid weighs 35 pounds, that's not making you stronger, right? So that's why we want to go after this heavier weight mentality, get out of this. And you were just working at simple planes of motion with this program, which is going to allow you to lift heavier than you normally do. So for ladies, if you don't have 20-pound dumbbells, get them. You're going to be lifting them in no time flat, and you're probably going to be lifting more than that in no time flat. And guys, you're going to want to up your weights as well. Now, if you don't have it, that's fine. You can use the resistance bands at a certain point, but I promise you, you're going to want these heavier dumbbells. So, 5 to 20s is what I suggest for women in terms of a starting range. And, for guys, depending on your fitness level, 10 to 30s, 10 to 40s. But as Christina, as you know, there's certain days where everybody drops the weight down, because the whole point of this, you guys, remember, as I said, these whole, my opinion now on double workouts and everything like that, is the fact that by the end of these workouts, you shouldn't be able to do any more exercising. You shouldn't be able to do it on chest and tricep day. If you can do any more push-ups when it's over, you didn't go hard enough. It's that simple, okay? And if you, this thing, if you ever work out and you're like, oh, I could do another lift later, there's your answer if you went heavy enough or not. It's really that simple.
I'd say exactly right, because even when we had met in Mexico, and you had told my husband and I, you're like, no, she's gonna be lifting 30s at the end of this. And my husband,
and your face was like, nuh-uh.
Yeah, I was like, no. And they after was week 5, I was like, dude, I just lift 30s. That just happened. But I have to say, this is a program that you're exactly right, that if you don't go all in, at the end, because when you get to burnouts, if you're not awkwardly laughing at how stupid hard it is,
right,
you didn't do it right.
Right. And look, there's no, this is my favorite thing about weightlifting, you guys. There's no such thing as graduating from this program. Don't everyone's like, oh my God, I'm never going to graduate. It's an 8-week program, but I did legs today. Yesterday I did chest and triceps. I just kind of had to move my stuff around. Yesterday in the chest and triceps in the burnout, I couldn't pick myself. I made love to the floor, man, because I'm just I couldn't move. I had to wait a few minutes before I could actually roll off the ground because I couldn't physically push myself back up. That's what I love, because and I've been doing this, I've been weightlifting forever. So you just keep getting stronger. That's what the exciting thing is about this, I think.
Yeah, no, they say you feel like a badass at the end of it. 100%. Right? Pumpkins. Okay, can we dive into performance line a little bit, or what you recommend, suggest, and then roll into nutrition, because you threw out the macro word and everybody went, what does he mean by macros? And they all went nuts.
Oh my God, I know. Everyone needs to.
So you deal with it because you did it.
Hey, look, the macros is actually really simple. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. You don't have to worry about the macros because they're already done for you. Ta-da! You're welcome. Thank you. Nobody? Okay. Here's the deal about the LIIFT4 nutrition plan. Just like the program itself, I went back to basics and wanted to make this as simple as possible. And also with the sustainability in mind. The LIIFT4 nutrition plan is basically how you should just eat every single day. And the macros are the basic macronutrients of protein, fats, and carbs of how you should just be eating every day to live and for your body to function in its optimal state, which is 30% protein, 40% carbs, 30% fats. Don't worry about it. You don't even need to know it because it's there. It's already done for you. It's even in the nutrition plan. It says it. That's it. And they're like, okay, so what's so different about it? All I'm doing, because like, this is how I create sustainability and consistency in my world, and everybody that I've run into over the years and trained is saying, you know what? Eat this way and cut the crap for 6 days. That's it. That is it. That is what is sustainable. No deprivation diets, no calorie restrictions long-term or anything like that, and no friggin' messing with your macros, because I don't know, if you take my carbs away, I will kill you. Like, I'm not a nice person when you start taking away macros. So like, and everybody here has dealt with that ratio or dealt with that hangry aspect of it. But this is all in the nutrition plan, guys. The macros, the measurements, the ratio, everything is there. It's just there as an FYI. You don't even have to know it because it's just out there. Now, the nutrition plan is container friendly. It's to be mindset friendly to an extent as well. But you just need to, all you need to do is just make sure, because look, you need to not be scared of calories, okay? Calories, here's my analogy for this. Your car needs gas, fuel to go anywhere. Calories are your fuel. If you want your body to go anywhere and perform and do anything, you gotta give it some fuel, man. So this whole mindset, and yes, I know what they say of like, so many calories in a deficit equals calories burned equals so many pounds of fat. Yes, that's true. That's not long-term. That's not sustainable. What we're doing is, in these 8 weeks, is we are going to change your body composition. Okay, this is what's going to happen. This is why this works so well. Is in these 8 weeks, we're going to swap. We're going to build muscle. We're going to burn calories. You're going to burn fat by the more muscle you add. And the reason why, and like so people are like, well, we got 6 weeks of building and 2 weeks of shredding. So you got to mess with the nutrition plan, right? No. We don't even mess with that. If anything, you actually might have to eat more in those last 2 weeks, because the whole point of that is 6 weeks of building muscle, not bulking. There's no such thing as bulking muscle. It's building muscle. Then the last 2 weeks, I just up the intensity a little bit to make that new muscle work harder, and then you just burn more calories. That is literally it. It is, and now, like, Christina's a perfect example. Just sitting here, Christina burns more calories than she did 10 weeks ago when she first started this program. Because the more muscle you have in your body, the more calories they are burning to just to be there. So we increase your RMR, your resting metabolic rate, just by sitting. That's long-term, guys. Cardio and calorie deprivation is not long-term, okay? This is long-term, and that's what this is all about. So the nutrition plan is that simple. Eat some damn food. Cut the crap for 6 days. 7th day, we chill out. We release the reins a little bit. I think in this next test group, Christina, we should have done it in yours. I'm sorry we didn't, but someone popped this in my head today. I was like, oh, like, so Sundays, I'll go live and I'll have my wine and we'll talk about the week and say, how you doing? Like, let's do this together and let's have some fun. But you got to loosen the reins, because then on Monday you come back and it's such a mental release, right, Christina? Like, you're ready to go, man. You're ready to get back into this. You feel good. You didn't deprive yourself because look, we're all 8-year-old children. When you say, like, you can't have that, what do you want? You want it more than anything now. Like, if you tell me I can't have a cheeseburger, I'm like, well, okay, I want a cheeseburger now. Like, that's just how it works. So I don't believe in deprivation whatsoever. The performance line itself, I know we're running out of time. I just did a post today about creatine. So I know there's a lot of people asking questions about creatine. I did a post today. Kobe's even in it. And they made an appearance in that post. And so go on and check that out, Joel Freeman Fitness on Facebook and Instagram. And then with the rest of the stuff, you guys get into the coach test group with me, okay? We're going to talk about this nonstop. And Christina, you can talk to him more after I jump off. But like, you know me, I'm going to be in this every single day. And the whole point of being in the coach test group with me is to my job is to impart as much knowledge as I can about the program and also bring a lot of business tools into this as well. I've been like I said, I've been here for over 15 years in the fitness industry, and I know how to talk to people and create value in fitness products and how to understand when you're talking to people and take what they say and help you figure out what they need. We're going to talk about all of that in the coach test group over the next 8 weeks. So get into it if you haven't. And for God's sake, would you guys relax already and have some fun and bring in, put fun back in fitness? Seriously, that's the whole point. Check out the creatine. Sorry, I had the chat pulled up, so I saw L'Oreal is, I think I said it right. Can you offer a woman's viewpoint on taking creatine?
I took it.
Christina will give you that. My wife.
I took it. She said she did. I was like, sign me up. I'm in.
Yeah, she's hot AF, man. She's pretty amazing, and she takes creatine. You guys, the post that I did today is for both men and women. Okay, it's like, you guys, women, ladies, seriously, stop being afraid of weights. Stop being afraid of stuff, because look, if you just Google weightlifting benefits for women, creatine monohydrate, Google the benefits of it. It tells you right there. Like, stop going off of what you've heard, because chances are it's wrong. Okay. Get off of this stuff. Like, you have more information at your fingertips than ever before. Take 2 minutes and find out for yourself, please. It will only do you good. And if you don't want to find out for yourself, jump in the test group and I'll yell at you for a while. In the fun way, though.
Plug, jump in the test group. Everyone should be in there. No,
Yeah.
You should. And you're magic, and I appreciate your rawness and realness. If anyone doesn't know, corporate gave me what questions I was allowed to ask him, and I sent him a message. I'm like, are you bored yet? And he was like, just tell me what your team wants to know. And so I love that about you, and you're humble and you're real and you're raw, and we're very fortunate to have you in this company at our fingertips. And I appreciate you dealing with the hoopla and crap to get on here.
I know.
What you did has changed my life. It's going to change a bunch of other people's life. I'm super pumped, so fortunate, so thankful that you took the time out for this. I know you're super busy and probably have like 4 more tonight.
I've only got 2 more tonight, but tomorrow and Thursday night I have 8 calls back to back, so 4 hours straight of just planting my butt in this chair. But hey, this is the final push. This is the fun stuff, and we're gonna. And look, I promise you, coaches, because I'm guessing I'm mostly coaches on here, right? I promise you, and Christina, back me up after I jump off this. Give me 2 days of the full workouts, okay? Give me 2 days of the full workouts, and on Wednesday, you guys are going to be like, okay, now I think I get it. So there you go. That's my final point. Relax, have fun. I love you guys. Christina, so good to see you, babe. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I will leave, or I will, if you guys have any questions for me, I don't think you will, but I'll just give you a little bit of a recap on myself with this program. And I have to piggyback off what he said, because it really was something that first, I would say within the first week, we all kind of stressed and we're kind of freaking out about what programs we could do on top of this and what we should cross-train with and what we should do. And everybody, and I will say most of the people in the test group did some sort of cross-training. Simply, let me make sure that I'm on here. Okay, sorry. Simply because mentally, I need to sweat a little bit, or I need to move a little bit. I didn't do anything high intensity, because I'm telling you that if you put everything you've got into this program, I made a joke, like every chest day, that I couldn't pick up my shaker cup afterwards. Like my arm on like bicep days would be like stuck in a 90-degree angle. Like, you are tired. You wear yourself out. If you get to like number 6, 7, 8, and you're not like thinking, how the heck am I going to keep lifting this? You need to up your weights. I did use creatine. I was scared to use it because of all the different things that I had heard. I think it made a very big difference in my energy level, to the amount that I was exerting in my workouts. I was noticing that when what Joel had recommended was 6 weeks on and taper off for the last 2 weeks and shred a week, I did that in the first round. Now I'm just going to stay and maintain on it. I did notice a difference that when I tapered off of it, that my strength actually decreased a little bit during those workouts I was trying to push myself a little bit more. I myself, like, a little bit of TMI, but my first time using creatine, I used the full scoop and realized my digestive tract doesn't really connect with that very well. So I learned very quickly that I cut it in half and I worked myself up to 3/4 of a scoop. I tested again doing a full scoop and my body just doesn't really like it. So I do like 3/4 of a scoop. I mix it in with my Recover after the workout. I use the entire Performance Line Recharge. I kind of forget about sometimes, but I highly, highly recommend Energize and Recover, hands down. I think you should be pushing that on your customers and coaches too, because I just feel like it's so, so critical in this program. I think the support that you'll get from Energize to push you through these workouts, and then that Recover to help with that muscle synthesis will really, really help. Yeah, a lot of people mixed it with Energize too. I'm trying to think what else. He had mentioned about the nutrition plan. I use the 2B principles meshed with the balanced macros. I'm not someone, like, containers give me anxiety, so I'm not someone that was measuring everything out, but I eat fairly clean, and I was, when I needed that guidance and to rein me back in, I did use them. And I did maximize on the cheat days. We call them YOLO days. We don't want to call them cheat days because then people like go all in, but I definitely had my fair share of cake and beers and pizza and loaded nachos and things. And honestly, the last 2 weeks of, which we called Shred Week in the program, a lot of the test groupers were cutting everything out and they just wanted to go super clean so they could like shred to the max. Myself goes right into like self-sabotage mode if I tell myself I can't have something, and I'm going to go like 10 times harder than I would. So I mentally told myself, like, girl, stick with what you're doing because you're getting good results anyways. So that last week I had, like, no joke, 3 slices of pizza like Sunday and Friday, and took my final transformation pictures on Saturday. Could they have been better? Probably, but I was showing authentically what happens when you stick to the plan and program and include that cheat day, and I didn't shred myself all the way down. I'm trying to think anything else. I'm super duper passionate about this program. That, like I said, it's the first program I've completed from beginning to the end. It's the first program that I I am a personal trainer in my background, so this was formatted the same way I used to train my clients because I try to train people the way that I like to do it. You don't get bored. You're never going to wake up and be like, oh, it's that workout again. Because even though it might be similar style of the workouts and some, similar moves, it's a different format the way that it's mixed up. It's such a quick pace. You might need to pause to switch in and out your weight. That's fine. Don't get distracted by that. But also don't maximize that time effort because it's meant to keep your heart rate up a little bit. But it's quick. Like, again, I get bored. I'm someone that used to fast forward. Like, I would whip through a set of reps and fast forward to get onto the next, set, figure out what those 3 moves are, then go to the next. This program, because it's so quick paced, you don't do that. And because you're switching on to the next thing so often, you don't get that sense of boredom. You don't get that, like, all right, I'm going to just take an energize break or a hydrate break and chill here for the next, like, you're just go, 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 and you leave it all on the floor in the end. Everyone should do this. A beginner can do it. They have the bandifier. They have the modifier in there. Modifying for a lot of cases because it's basic weight training. Like, I'm not worried about my clients I'm not worried about them getting injured because they're not doing multi-level motions. You're literally doing static, isolating your muscle groups, old school weight training. So form, once you have that form down that first week, Joel has this like innate ability to cue you right when you're about to fall out of form, where he'll kind of catch you and remind you, and you're like, F-bomb, like, why you gotta call me out like that? And you correct yourself. But people have all, asked a bunch of different questions about this program. It is straightforward. You won't even know what's in the background. You won't pay attention to who's anything. It's straightforward. There's no rah-rah. So if people like that, like, personal development, like, quote thrown in the middle of there to make you feel better, it's not in here. This is simply like, all right, get up, let's go. We got 10 seconds till the next move. Let's get it done. It's quick. If you can't tell, I'm like really, like, I get really amped up about this because I'm so passionate about this workout. Can we use your photos to promote? Yeah, I'm totally cool with people using my photos as long as you don't, 1, pretend they're your own because I'm having that issue, and 2, pretending they came from your boot camp, which, like, not a big deal. It, like, came from Beachbody, but there's some people who actually like paid like $1 million IG accounts and was promoting my results as a direct reflection of someone's like personal boot camp. So I'm totally, you don't need to tag me, you don't need to do anything. Just like, you can totally use it. It shows exactly what happens with this program. So I'm full-fledged. If you need, like, I have tons of before and afters. I really like went overboard. I'm over my own transformation right now. But totally use them. Just keep your own integrity and authenticity with this. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything else. Energize and recover. Yeah. YOLO days. Just want to make sure. Yeah, no, I'm sorry that was so hectic in the beginning. If you guys have any other questions Joel's really open to answering anything. If you shoot him a message, you can feel free to read out to me. I'm pretty raw and real when it comes to it. But I think this is going to be a game changer. I did recover every day. You definitely 100%, those 4 days I'm addicted to recover. So, and because I did like light workouts after that, because I mixed my creatine in it, I did use recover probably 6 days a week. People ask me if I worked out all the time. No, because if there were certain days that like literally like working out just sounded like a really stupid idea because of how sore I was. So I didn't all the time, but like, I'm even talking, people would go out for a walk and we'd be like, okay, we got our activity in today. It gives you that sense of freedom. And I think as a coach, on a coaching standpoint, it will free yourself of being annoyed of your challengers. I don't know if any of you have been in the game long enough, you found that where you have challengers who are like, my kids were up super late and I didn't get any sleep and so I didn't do my workout. And you're like, no, that's not an excuse. Show up anyways. Like we're talking a 22-minute hardcore workout or T25. Like there is no excuse. And we're like, you want results, then you got to show up. And it takes you where this round of my boot camp, I think my people were like, why you ain't coming at me? When they would say like, oh, I was really tired. I was up late last night. And I wasn't like, girl, that's not an excuse. Show up. Instead, I was like, all right, pick it back up tomorrow. And it gave me the sense of like, okay, we got to make sure that these people remember that this is going to give them sustainable results, that this is going to keep our people in our challenge groups, letting them know that it isn't a do or die, that it isn't, they fall off the wagon, that they can't just get back on. And I think for coaches, again, it takes the pressure off us in that go, go, go mode, and showing as a network wide that we aren't just fitness and health, but we are about living our life. We're about celebrating our wins. We're about, celebrating life in general, and it's not just all or nothing. And it'll take that scarcity mindset from people that are just too scared that we're going to be like, you're at home, you can do this every single day, every moment of the day, there's no excuse, blah, blah, blah. It takes that out. And I think that was really huge for me mentally. Okay, so how do we ensure that challengers don't come from a cheat YOLO meal to a full-blown cheat weekend? You can't, because they're going to do it anyways. In my opinion, you can only lead from example. I'm very open about my obsession with loaded nachos and pizza and beer and things like that, but I also will show that leading up to that meal, I was fueling myself properly. You won't see me going on like a weekend bender of like craziness. And if I do, I'm going to call myself out, and I'm not going to say that's life, because that wasn't life, that was my decision. That wasn't when people are like, oh, I don't want to do this, that, and the other. And then they're like, oh, that was life. Like life got in the way and I had all these parties. So you made the decision what went in your mouth. So, lead from the front, show what's possible. But also if you have someone that's going on those weekend benders, I would simply like, in my personal like personality, is reach out to them on the side and be like, dude, what are you doing? Like, let's chat real talk here. Let's talk about what are your goals. And I always do that like 100% or like, 1 to 10, rate yourself 1 to 10. How well did you do this week? If they say a 7, all right, well, what are you okay with 70% of your results happening in the time frame that you want your results in? Are you okay with only seeing 70% of what you want to see? And, let them gauge it, put that back on them and let them hold themselves accountable that, again, if I wanted to have like really, really cut, I could have really cut my nutrition down. I could have not cheated at all. I could have done all these different things. And that's on me. And I'm going to hold myself to that. Creatine you take every day, even on rest days. Like I said, Joel recommended 6 weeks of the program to be on it and then shred off for 2 weeks and just let it go. I think everybody in the test group did that. I actually didn't jump on creatine until like week 3 because I was a pansy about it. And I'm like, I don't want to take this. And now I started right back when I got back and I'm taking it. I'm just going to keep taking it because I did a bunch of research on it and I don't need to shred off of it. My body, like some people, there's different side effects that you can have from it. Digestive issue is one. Once I Googled that, and I'm like, that explains that. But also you can retain water, bloated. It's the same thing that happens with anything, and we all get in our mind that's like, that's why I'm bloated. No, homegirl, that was a cheeseburger you ate last night. That's why you're bloated, not the creatine. So just remember that it can be a side effect, just like a placebo pill can be a side effect in your own mind. I like the scale gauge idea. Oh yeah, that's something that's been big, especially when you have challengers. I'm like going on tangents, but especially when you have challengers who come at you and they're like, I'm doing all the things and blah, 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 blah. And then, they don't see the results that they have, or it's not happening fast enough, or somebody's having crazier results than them. And it's bringing them back to reality of where they are and what they're actually putting forth, and rate your day and things like that. Sometimes I'll do it more privately, especially if there's somebody who's like a one-upper, who's like, someone's like, I'm a 9, and they're like, I'm a 9.5. And it's like, no, you aren't. I saw your food log. Or no, your results aren't showing that. So let's be real about this. But so sometimes depending on the person, I'll do it kind of behind the scenes so they can kind of like garbage of the mouth and lay it all out there. And then we can kind of dissect it and get them back in. But yeah, creatine, I definitely like it. It was scary, but here's the thing. You lead from the front. So if you're using it and you're open with that with your challengers and they start seeing you get these results, they might be like, maybe that's that missing piece. Maybe that's what's going to amplify things. Maybe that's, and it's, for us, I think a lot of the women in the group wanted to test it out so that we can get firsthand knowledge of our experience. Because if it wasn't for this program, I would have never touched creatine. When I told my husband, I was like, so you used to take creatine. Like, what do you think? He's like, no, absolutely not. And that was just his ignorance. Like, I have more education in this stuff, but I'm not well versed in creatine. I know the basics of it. I didn't know, the nitty gritty of it. And now I love it. I think it's great. So I definitely recommend that, and jump right on that. I don't want to take up any more of your time. Again, if you have any questions, you can feel free to shoot me a message. Otherwise, get everybody in this. Like, you guys are down to that. Like, I just talked to my team about this. You're down to that crunch time where like tonight's the night and tomorrow where you go ham on your results or on your invites. This isn't like that 3 to 5. We're talking like your entire list. Be like, hey, guess what? I'm starting this group. Be bold about it. Starting this group, you literally, like, tomorrow is a cutoff to order to get everything in time. Do you want to do this with me? I'm freaking pumped about this. Or like, do a short little quick invite and blast it to every single person you can possibly do. Do not be scared of this. When you know that you have an opportunity that's going to change someone's life, it is selfish and dumb to hold back on it or to be scared of the scary people, because guess what? The scary people need your help. The scary people, every single person needs your help. So today is the day that I would say you have free reign, that even if you're like, I don't know how to run a challenge group, or I'm a new coach or something, that's awesome, because you have a coach test group that these people can get into with the actual freaking creator. And Joel is very hands-on, and he doesn't suck to look at. So everybody, just send his freaking picture of him with like pizza and a pool, and people will be like, 170? Sure. I'll do that for 60 days in a test group with this man. So just do it. Get busted with the fear. Realize you have an opportunity in your hand that can help every single person, whether it's this program or any other program. Get it in their hands. Let them see what is possible. And then that belief and that will come back to you, realizing that you are helping everyone's life, will make all the difference in your business. So thank you guys for being on this call. Thank you for dealing with all the insanity. And I will hopefully touch base with you guys soon. Bye.